That's when you talk about Dark Revan. And I don't know. I'm not going to act like I even know a lot, but
Mike is hot.
But Dark Revan, he was a Jedi who became a Sith, who came back to being a Jedi, who understands the balance of the duality of the, like, hey, you need both light and darks, and emotions, like, yes, can be dangerous. He's like, but you should not denounce emotions because of that.
And that's part of Mace Windu's thing as well, because Mace Windu never went to the dark side, but like studied darker parts of the Force and incorporates that into his thing. So, if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, but he also like taps into that rage that's used on the dark side.
That's why I think he's still, one of the most aggressive fighters, like one of the most aggressive like Jedi.
Yeah, and I think so. His purple lightsaber was a Samuel L. Jackson choice.
Yeah.
He was like, "Well, I want to have a purple fucking lightsaber," but they later added to the canon.
Yeah.
Unless Disney took away from this, but like the purple lightsaber was meant to represent like a most distinguished warrior.
What color lightsabers would y'all carry?
Green. The green lightsabers are the best.
Purple, nigga.
Oh, okay.
And I think
we can't all get purple, I guess.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, purple are just for the black people, huh? All right. Okay. All right. Fine. Okay, great.
But I do like.
I only want to be black so I can have a purple lightsaber.
I do like the. I would say like the yellow.
I was gonna say I would be yellow. That neutral zone.
That it looks so good though. Like
I think the green is just the most aesthetically pleasing.
It's very iconic,
in my opinion.
That and the blue one are very iconic.
And it was such a big deal. I think because that was like
green and blue. One's like tactician, and the other one's like more of like your emotion, your feeling.
The blue is more of like a peacekeeper sense. They're the ones who are going to talk through, use the Force a little bit more, and then only use their lightsaber in like kind of a last-ditch effort. Whereas the green
like
is
a kung fu mentality.
The green is a little more. I don't want to say aggressive, but they are going to be like more of the fighters. And I could have them switched, but
you're good in mind. That's all. I'm not gonna never act like I'm a Star Wars
guaranteed. If there is one listening, their eyes twitching.
They're like, these motherfuckers don't know shit.
See, this is why we need the Twitter so people can tell us how fucking wrong we are.
Right? They're like, yeah, don't talk about Star Wars ever again.
I think the green lightsaber is so iconic in a way because we didn't see that, and it became normalized with the prequel trilogy. But like in the original trilogy, it was either blue or red. Everyone had blue or red. Like Obi-Wan was blue, Anakin's that.
Yeah, because it's like the good
blue.
side, the light, the dark.
Yeah,
like,
but then fucking Luke loses his dad's lightsaber, goes off on his own, and then comes back and I want to say Empire. I think it was Empire or Return of the Jedi. I really don't remember because it's been so long. But he comes back with his lightsaber that he's built, and then it's green. And that like was like, holy shit, it's fucking green. He's got his own thing.
If y'all haven't guessed the topic for today's podcast, you may be a little slow. It is film, entertainment, things of that nature, movies, TV shows, and we'll go over some of our favorites, some of our most influential, and just like whatever comes to mind as we go in. That's pretty much how our conversations lead.
Yeah.
Oh, just thought about what's that? Blast from the Past. Great movie.
Oh, Brendan Fraser? I didn't see that. Anyway, I'm Blake.
Sorry, Jarvis.
And I'm Greg.
Drinking my peach mango bang.
That's a good one.
Are we sponsored? Then cut that shit out.
Cut that shit out. What the fuck? God damn it.
Just drinking my insert beverage here. My email in the link below if you're trying to get added.
Speaking of movies, I was watching this super shitty indie film with on like Talk Guard one time. And I don't mean to say shitty because it had the potential to be good, but it was just low budget. The acting wasn't super good. The story was all right. But at one part, I could tell they didn't have the rights for Gatorade because they were sitting on a bench, and one of the guys goes, "Hey, pass me one of those sports drinks." And he hands him just a Gatorade with the label torn off. And I looked at the guy I was watching, I was like, no, it's because they don't have the licensing right. And he goes, oh, damn, that's funny.
They're like, we're going to play this up real quick. We're going to play this up.
Y'all like when there's basically a 8-minute car commercial in the middle of a movie whenever there's like a car chase, but all the cars are like
Mercedes.
They're all Jeep Renegades.
Well, that was what really fucking pissed me off about Jurassic World when I saw it. Is like every 10 seconds it was just like Mercedes. This truck. Look at it. Mercedes.
I like because you can tell when they're the car advertisements because one, they just show the logo. They shove it down your throat, and then like
Iron Man and Audis?
those cars, right? They,
Transformers and GM.
It'll be like all other cars are like getting destroyed, and then like, but the Nissan Altima is like busting through a brick wall. They're like, get you a Nissan.
I liked another Transformers bit because Michael Bay obviously fucking is. He's in the movie making business for the money, the business.
Yeah.
And there's a scene, and I think the fourth one where like they crash into a Budweiser truck, and there's Budweisers everywhere, and then Mark Wahlberg stops the whole movie to just like crack open a Budweiser and yell at somebody and slam that shit real fast.
That's advertising.
Even in the Man of Steel, there's a part where it's like Clark Kent's doing the dishes, and a whole shot's just like a Budweiser bottle sitting there, and then he grabs it and drinks it all masculinely.
They were like, we need you to advertise our drinks. And
All right, so let's start where it all began.
The bullshit of capitalism.
The your favorite movies or shows as a child, cartoons, things like that. You know, some good movie you used to watch with your family. What do we got?
So, as a TV show, weirdly enough, I think one of my favorite things to watch when I was younger was Charmed. Because I would watch TV with my mom a lot. And she was into that whole thing. So I would like make it a point to fucking watch Charmed. Or then Smallville too. It's like
somebody say.
Oh yeah,
You can't. You have to, anytime we sing anything, we have to be slightly off.
Copyright infringement. A high pitch.
Hey, fair use. I think you get like 30 seconds.
No, it's more like 3 seconds on YouTube.
Oh yeah. No, that was my mom and I.
Like,
They're like, it was right on the dot.
That was how my mom and I bonded. Was we'd watch Smallville like every Thursday night, and it was like she knew it was so important to me. It was important to her. Like one time I was grounded for a week, and what she did was she recorded the episode that I missed because I was grounded, so I could watch it when I got ungrounded like the next day.
That's a real G.
She was real as fuck, man. I watched.
She was like, I'm gonna record both of these.
Watched all 10 seasons.
So me and my brother, I would say, I don't remember what age. It was not early childhood, but not late childhood. Somewhere in the middle. We shared a room for a couple years, and we had a little box TV and a VHS in there.
Oh, yeah. I had a little 19-inch.
And we had...
Yeah. I had the TV and the VCR combo.
Yeah.
Okay. So we had maybe like 13 movies to choose from. Older brother, he always picked what we watch. So his favorite 2 movies was what we watched every night for probably an entire year, and it would be back and forth. It was Shrek and Shark Tale, and Shrek and Shark Tale.
I used to watch Shark Tale all the fucking time.
Those were actually really good
so,
movies.
So, they were great movies,
those were really good movies.
I would be, like, laying in bed, and he was watching either Shrek or Shark Tale, and I would just, before everyone said anything, I'm just, like, 6 years old saying what the next Will Smith's about to say. I'm like, oh.
Shrek just got saved.
Just quoting the whole damn movie like, I know
Shrek
this.
is one of the only animated movies to ever get saved to, like, the congressional fucking film library or something.
Bro,
that just happened very recently.
Shrek was just if it had embodied like the early 2000s and like the music and the sound and everything about it, like when you say 2000s, you bring up Shrek, people are like, everyone's watched Shrek. Everyone loves Shrek.
If it wasn't for Shrek, nobody would know who Smash Mouth is.
Yeah. I saw her. I'm gonna stop right there.
Bigly fucking disagree because
okay.
They were
You're not everyone.
Rat Race. Most people know
Rat Race
most people know Smash Mouth from Rat Race because they sing the same song at the end.
What came out first though, Shrek or Rat Race?
Pretty sure
it was
Rat
Shrek.
Race. Was it? I'm
pretty sure it was Shrek.
Go to the infamous power of the internet.
And
where's my phone?
So whoever came out first, they're Smash Mouth saving grace.
Well, Smash Mouth was big for.
I honestly I remember it from Shrek, and then whenever I hear it, I think of Shrek.
I don't know. I watched Rat Race after I watched Shrek.
They were both 2001, actually.
Oh,
well, I'll be.
But which ones was a kids movie?
Yeah, true. So it makes sense. Like,
so for this generation,
it's
it's interesting because like for like whatever's pushed down in like cartoons and stuff is like what influences future generations.
Oh, facts.
So like
100%.
And I think a lot of and like we like Shrek so much because we're younger and it came out when we were young.
Yeah.
A lot of older people I think don't like it. Like one of the podcasts I listen to like the most is We Hate Movies, where they just rip apart movies like through the plot, and they fucking hate Shrek, like with a passion. And they're like
I hate them.
Mid-late 30s.
Don't know who they are, but I hate them.
Great podcast.
They hate Shrek. That's weird.
Hey, we hate movies.
That sounds like a publicity stunt. to hate Shrek.
Hey, Shrek.
Like, nobody hates
There's some
Shrek.
crotchety old folks, because I'll be going through like their catalog sometime, and I like listen to one of my favorite movies, and I just get so fucking mad listening.
They just probably do it.
They're,
To
those,
troll
they, I
people
bet they're
now.
like, we really like the 8th season of Game of Thrones.
Well, what is nice is they will like even some of the
That was
bad
my
movies. They
favorite
will
season.
talk about how much
Get outta
they
here.
they'll talk about like how much they do enjoy the movie, but still make fun of it, which I think I respect it.
Like I can agree with disliking
What was the first scary movie y'all seen?
Child's Play.
Child's Play.
Mine was Signs. When I was like 6 years
Ooh.
old.
I can
That
see
was
that.
that was
I take it back.
horrible.
Candyman.
I haven't seen that yet.
Candyman scared the living shit out of me. as a
Have you
child.
seen Signs?
Yes.
So,
is a good one.
so remember the scene where the two kids are in the bedroom and they just look out the window and they see one of the aliens on the roof and it's just like by the chimney.
Oh yeah, that
Oh, I'm
one.
about to go watch
That's
that shit
that's the
tonight.
moment that I stopped watching that movie and then I had nightmares for like 2 weeks straight as a kid. I would not. I hated windows. I'm like, I would not look out
I'm
any
about to go
window.
watch Signs tonight.
My only issue with that movie, and it's my issue with every M. Night Shyamalan movie, is his dialogue is just so fucking weird.
So wordy.
It's so it's just unnatural. Like I love the directing, I love the story. I get immersed in his little world, but his world is so fake because nobody fucking talks like that.
There's something in the water.
Well, there's water in the water. It might be fish down there. Might be some
so
aquatic
weird.
plants. You never know.
But Mel Gibson sells it too. Like just the part where he's running around, he's like, "You kids better stop, or they're gonna put you in the paddy wagon." And then he slaps himself on the head. And he's like, "What the fuck did I just say paddy wagon for?" My favorite scene in that movie by far is when he opens the door and it's the two kids and then Joaquin Phoenix with the tinfoil hats on their head,
Yes.
and they just look at him like it cracks me up every fucking time.
Y'all seen American Story? 5 Goes West.
I haven't. No, wait, no, I have.
not
I
seen
have.
that one.
Give 'em the
That is a good one.
lazy-eye. That was my favorite childhood movie.
I've only
till
seen it
this
like
day.
once. That's why it
I
took a
love that
second.
movie.
Yeah.
I've seen that movie so many times. That was my binge movie as a child.
It
was a
this,
good one, though.
I had this Incredible Hulk VHS like animated. It had like a couple short movies or a couple episodes from a TV show. I don't even know, but I watched that a lot. And I remember one morning, I think it was Christmas, and I woke up, and this is how I got my VHS or VCR TV combo.
All right, so
And I woke up and I saw that I had this new thing in my room with a bow on, and I can just barely see like my dad peeking around the corner to see if I notice it. And I woke up to the sound of this movie, this Hulk thing, and I get up, not even registering that I had this new dope futuristic TV, and I just turn it off and go back to sleep.
He was like,
And my dad comes in, he's like, "What the fuck, dude? Do you not even realize that?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, yeah, that's cool."
"Oh, let me go back to sleep. I'll check this out in a couple minutes. In like
that's where
30
the
minutes when I
beatings
wake
start.
up."
So unpopular opinion. Backstory first. Growing up, I used to absolutely love the Justice League cartoons.
Oh, yeah.
Like
yeah.
those were so, and the Batman cartoons and all of
Animated
those.
series?
Yeah, Batman
Like,
animated
yeah.
series, Superman.
So good.
Batman Beyond.
I think it was mainly because they were like designed in a way that like wasn't. Let's get rid of anything that's good. We're trying to only focus it for kids. We can't say anything bad.
No,
It was a little more
definitely-
realistic.
It was both sides, and,
Yeah.
and even just the animation was different. Because if I remember right, like they would print it on like black cards instead of white cards, so it gave it a different feel
Interesting.
before they eventually started going to digital.
But yeah, so growing up, absolutely love watching the Justice League cartoons. The Batman versus Superman came out, and sort of leads to the Justice League. I actually didn't like the Justice League movie, but Batman versus Superman gets so much hate,
I don't
and
think
I think
it
it
was
is
that bad.
an incredible movie.
I don't
Honestly,
think it was that bad.
That really is, again, unpopular opinion, probably my favorite superhero movie.
it's so good.
Actually, I think it's wonderful.
I would say, if I had to pick my favorite superhero movie, it's Captain America: Winter Soldier.
All right,
That's a
our
good one.
favorite superhero movies. Okay,
Captain America: Winter Soldier for me is just because, like, at the time, like, we were so saturated to just superhero movies in a sense, and then when Winter Soldier came out, I was like, this just
Which
feels
one
like
was
a-
that?
the
2?
one where, yeah,
that was a good
I was
one.
like,
yeah,
this is just a action movie, but with superheroes.
I did like that one.
And that was the biggest appeal to me. I'm like, but outside of that, I love all Marvel.
I
stuff.
liked the Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah,
That was a
Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
Taika Waititi.
He actually just
yeah.
did.
Can't say his name.
He just directed the most recent Halo trailer.
Mm.
A little different spin on things.
Okay.
But I liked Iron Man 1.
Yep.
That was a really good one. The Avengers movies I thought were all pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Batman versus Superman, thought it was dope. You get into any of those the Netflix series like Luke Cage or Daredevil or anything like that?
I love the Daredevil series. I
had a hard
Luke
time
Cage.
with it. I really liked
Daredevil.
Yeah.
It was so good.
I
thought it
really
was
only
pretty good.
watched it so I can get the context to watch Punisher.
You know, obviously you could
Punisher
tell
really
like
good.
it was like a little low budget, you know, but
They did it. They did.
I thought
a really
it was
good
pretty
job.
good. Some of the acting was kind of cringe, but I thought
I
the story was good enough that it kept me
I
watching.
think Charlie Cox's Daredevil.
Charlie
was
Cox is great. My
amazing Daredevil.
biggest issue
but then we
was,
only have it to compare it to Ben Affleck.
I fucking love Ben Affleck.
I thought Ben Affleck was the perfect Batman.
I thought he was fantastic. He got fucked over in Justice League.
So-
I
But
blamed
that was supposed to
entirely
be
on
that was
Joss
supposed
Whedon.
to be old Batman.
Yeah. So, and this is my biggest thing with why like Justice League was so underwhelming for me is because it literally
I would
was.
agree with that.
It literally was. Batman, you're a man among gods. Like literally, everyone around you is pretty much a god,
superpower,
and you're
yeah.
a man. And then, like how Batman's always been portrayed to me is like, yo, he can compete with these dudes. He'll outthink them. If Batman has prep times, he can handle anything. But you could see his age and all of that, and you were just like, you cannot keep up. I like legit was like, you're worthless here. You shouldn't even be here.
I thought Justice League was kind of cheesy.
A big part of that.
How do you feel about-
it was Joss Whedon, and that's why we're getting like the hashtag Snyder cut. Now.
Yeah. So how do you feel about that coming out? And I'm
I'm actually
fucking
excited.
I am.
I think that'll be a good turnaround
Zack
for it.
Snyder gets so much hate, but I really do enjoy. I've enjoyed all of his movies.
I thought the Superman, like Man of Steel,
Man
was
of
good.
Steel I thought was great because especially being somebody from Kansas in my hometown, is Smallville. Like
Okay.
we have like a Smallville convention every year.
Oh, nice.
And
That's
during
dope.
that year, our town for like those 4 days, is the name is legally changed to Smallville. Our paper becomes the Daily Planet.
Oh, shit.
It's
That's
like a no
dope.
shit thing. Yeah. And I got to be pretty close with that because my best friend from high school, his parents and uncle were the people who were like advocating for that and making that our town and like running the con. So I was able to like get the quote unquote high profile volunteer jobs. So I was like celebrity handlers for actors on like Smallville and Supernatural. I met Billy D. Williams through that. Had dinner next to him.
You're like, I see you, fam.
It was
I see
cool.
you.
It was cool. He was a little more lost than I thought he'd be. Like, I went to shake his hand. I was the photographer that year, and I had it around my neck, and he was just like, "You're the photographer." I'm like, "Yeah, man, that's me." Yep. Did the camera give it away?
Like, yes.
I think just classic humans
Yeah.
is yelling at old people who can't hear you that well.
But as far as like Man
I
of
can't
Steel
hear
goes,
you, you get slightly angry.
it's
right over there. Oh, okay.
That is so true because the nurses be doing that in the hospital.
But the biggest complaint with Man of Steel and like with Superman is it's always been like, oh, he's too good, he's too perfect, he's a Boy Scout. So with Man of Steel, they go more into like
More gritty.
not it's just more personal. It's
Man
him,
of Steel was good.
It's him having like it's not with great power comes great responsibility, which has been every superhero movie up
He
to
was
that point.
literally
Did you?
trying
What was
With
that?
Superman, it was with great power. Do you actually have that responsibility? Is it your responsibility? Just
Yeah.
because you can do it, should you? And that's him struggling with the fact, like, should he become
Spider-Man.
this
like, just because
uncle
I'm- just
is
because I'm so
crying
strong.
in his grave
Yeah.
right
Yeah,
now.
he's like, just because I have these powers doesn't mean it's actually my thing. And it was nice to see that introspective human part of Superman where he's questioning what he should be doing with his life. And I like the Kevin Costner father figure who's like, you don't owe anybody
he's like,
anything.
you don't owe anything,
He
yeah.
gave him the exact opposite speech of fucking Uncle Ben and the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. And I love that switch, that duality, that like, you don't have to be
Yeah,
the savior.
my least favorite thing about movies is I feel like they're so like cookie cutter.
Facts.
It's
Yes.
like they follow a plot line where the hero is always on top. There's like this lesson to be learned that is traditional. But
And
I think that
shit's
like
so marketable, and that's why the Marvel movies
right,
do so well.
but I think like those movies that sort of stray away from that, the more original like. Make you think this isn't like a normal type of plot. You're surprised when something happens. I think those are really good movies.
I think Marvel hit it very well with Infinity War. Because it's like, you're like, they're going to win. Like, they'll come out of this all right.
I agree. That was
And that was a big, like,
especially
what?
So
Marvel being kind of following that traditional plot line of hero
Yeah,
always
but-
wins.
But like,
it was an eye-opener for people, like,
what I didn't like about that is how they took the severity away in Endgame immediately by saying, "Oh, we'll just go back in time and fix it."
Yes.
And that was a little. And what I didn't like either is that Infinity War like felt serious. There was a lot of weight to that movie.
Yeah.
And then Endgame just went right back to like quippy, snappy. We're so funny. We're time traveling.
I did
we're all a
enjoy
bunch of
watching Endgame, though. I thought it was pretty amusing.
I like
good action and humor.
I think a big reason too why I enjoyed watching Endgame is because I went with Mac to see it
because
and
of Krieg
or
whatever his name is, the little
Korg.
Korg, that's his name.
I mean, little rock paper scissors joke there for you. But like
pizza's on the microwave.
when we went to see it, it was just this packed theater. We had to park in a hotel down the road and fucking run to make it in time.
It was an experience.
It was an experience. It was a
when
experience.
So when Logan came out, I pre-ordered my ticket
such a big deal.
for IMAX 3D, and I got the middle row seat, like right in the center, right in the middle, my ideal seat.
Prime
and
real estate.
I was maybe 20 minutes into the film when I'd already gotten like 12 phone calls, and this is when I was in the Army, and it was my leadership freaking out because I wasn't answering my phone. And so I text, and I'm like, hey, I'm in a movie. They're like, you need to leave this movie and come into work right now. I'm like,
I
can
remember
it
you
wait?
telling me that.
And they're like, no, it's like life or death, come in right now or else you'll be facing consequences. So I had to waste my money. Army is not going to reimburse me for that movie. And then I went on to base, and I had to go wait in our little like medical area. And then it was like everyone was getting called in at 8 p.m. And everybody was in there just like confused. And then one person was getting called back at a time, and they asked me, are you on any medications or are you on profile right now? I'm like, no. They're like, yeah, that's all we need. You're good. And they just needed to get this chart with everyone's name on it and figure out this answer. And for some reason, we had to come in person to say it.
Over the phone.
At 8 p.m., not the next day at work, not over the phone. And
that's a text.
And I missed out
That's
on
100%
my IMAX experience. So
unpopular opinion about going to the theater. I love going to the theater.
Wonderful.
I love the movie experience.
So here is my unpopular opinion, and I've gotten into arguments with people when I go to a movie with them. Is I love second row, dead center.
Second
in the front?
row?
In the front.
Ugh!
Second from the front, dead center.
That's horrible.
I love
I'm like this.
No,
Yeah.
I love
I'm
it
like,
because my entire field of view is the movie. I'm fucking there.
I'm okay with being a little closer than center and in the middle. So so you've got the front section, the middle section, and the back section.
Yeah.
The front of the middle section in the middle.
So
kind of close, but not so close you have to look up.
Because when I sit in the back, I gotta watch everybody else watch this movie and fuck around and get up.
I like the little movie theaters that have the recliner seats, like those cozy, like 20-person.
The one on Skyboys now.
Yeah.
That's my.
I love that.
If you don't have a Staples membership to them, like for the monthly pass and points, you're wrong.
How much does it cost?
$15 for the year.
Yep.
$15 for the year?
Yep. 100%. You gotta get that AMC shit.
Bro,
right.
so I will say this.
I got you.
You know how, just kind of going a little more racial tension. You know how people are like, oh, fucking white privilege this, white privilege that. I will say 100%, this is the first time where I understood what they meant by white privilege. Because I remember having this pass, because you can skip the line.
Yeah, there's a special line for the members.
I remember there was a long-ass line, and this is the first time me and White used it.
Wait, I don't get to skip lines because I'm white. What are you
I
talking
understand
about?
that.
Have I been missing out this whole time? I could have skipped all these lines because I'm white?
So I remember...
Get out of my way, I'm white.
I should rephrase that. I understand being privileged.
I was so confused.
So I remember me and my wife were walking into the line, and we were like filming something like... Because I'm always talking like, man, I'm like cutting people, like waiting my turn. Like, I have no problem. But the first time I went up there, and like, they were like... You, and they pointed to you because they're like, oh, you remember. They're like, come up here. And I skipped like 20 people, and they gave you the dirty look. I was like, this is what it feels like.
It's so good.
I was like, this is exactly what it feels like.
I went to the AMC one time. I spent like $60 or $70 in this one day because I went to watch The Bad Times at El Royale, came back out, immediately bought a ticket for First Man and IMAX, and then they were like, do you want to be a member? I was like, yeah, sure. So I like watched two movies. One was mediocre movies. First Man was all right.
The best thing to do,
okay,
though,
law-abiding citizen.
The best thing to do, though,
people just go to the next movie without paying.
Yeah,
you're already in there.
Double feature.
Hey, it's the industry.
No, but
I paid to get past the
but
gate.
I agree with you. now that I'm older, I'm like, I'll pay for a movie because I'm paying for experience.
Yeah, and
But-
another thing too is that's the industry I want to go into, so why not support that?
Yeah, it's a dying industry.
Especially through the theater when you like that experience too, because
Yeah.
I feel like with streaming services, the theater is becoming less profitable,
It really is.
unfortunately.
And they know it, and that they're literally saying Marvel movies are keeping them afloat.
I think the huge downside to things like streaming services is it keeps everybody bottled up in their house, and I think like going to the movie theaters is like experiencing like something with community, you know? Even though it's a film, like you go out with other people, you all watch this movie together, it's like an experience.
I'm a little bit different in that. Like, I love the movie experience. That's one of those things where I told people, I'm like, they can jack ticket prices up to $20.
I'm still gonna go.
I would still 100% go.
I love going to the movies.
But with the thing being at home, streaming and watching stuff, this is where I differ is like, imagine you just paid $100,000 for a house. I'm going to be in my house. I'm paying money for this house to have an experience and like being able to do anything I
I'm
want.
paying for all 30 years. I'm gonna be here.
That's
for
like
all
that's
30
kind of my
years.
mindset. Like it's the experience. I'm like, I'm going to spend time in this house that I paid for. Like, I'm not trying to seclude myself from everything else and not go out and experience stuff, but I feel like you can turn your house into
It is
its own
nice.
entertainment.
I just think for like in terms of like when something is like opening night, like
Yes.
like the big reveal.
I get- 'cause me
in
and my
terms
wife
of just
did-
like enjoying stuff like a TV show. There's like it's nice to get a little home theater action in and
Oh,
just
yeah.
like stream all day in the comfort of
Yeah,
your home,
It's nice.
I do feel like so
balls out and everything.
have you guys tried the home theater feature now that we have? Like now since they're releasing movies like on streaming apps. So I think me and my wife watched a couple of movies that were supposed to come out theater on the streaming apps.
like Mulan.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
So-
So that was a fucking scam, I thought.
I understand it. I understand why they did it the way they did.
So, meanwhile, HBO Max is just going to release Wonder Woman on HBO Max when it comes out. They're going to be like, here's the movie, you already paid for the subscription.
HBO's a G.
I
Disney
think
Plus.
It's the mouse, man.
You have paying subscribers. Give them the content.
the mouse.
Yes.
No, the mouse needs
but
your dollars.
you gotta remember too, never mind, I won't say they no, because it was supposed to come out in movie theater, correct?
Mulan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, and it's weird
It was like a
because
$30 release, even though it's free to stream now.
yeah,
Or not free, it's your fucking monthly subscription.
That's why like 3 months later.
Free
4
for
months
me.
later.
I've
Yeah.
got Verizon.
Yeah.
I understand they're trying to make their capital off it, and they're going to try to pull that more often now. Because like you got to think too, like
It does.
so look
It
at
sets a
this.
bad
So look at it
precedent.
this way. Look at it this way. Like you have 2 kids right now, and then imagine you having to take your wife, your 2 kids.
Yeah,
Buying those
I
tickets,
would
that's expensive.
100% like
You're spending
not
like
even
$100.
the money aspect of it. When you have like younger kids too, like it's kind of almost like
It's kind of rude.
disrespectful to
Yeah.
everyone else
Yeah.
because like that kid's gonna scream, it's gonna ruin the experience for everyone else,
Mm.
and it's gonna ruin the experience for you because you're gonna have to leave the theater over and over
So
again.
you're going to
And
miss out
being
on
able
stuff.
to experience that still at home while you've got kids is great. It's
and the
actually
cost,
really,
like, think of cost
really helpful.
efficiency wise, like $30 watching it in my house, and I can do it. I can pause it, play it, whatever I want at home, versus going to the movie theater, spending.
I
probably
will say,
$60
though,
bucks.
Or it's
Whenever I'm
HBO
watching
Max.
like something at home, like and I'm getting into a movie or a show or something, like pausing in the middle, especially it's my first time seeing it, like I feel
Charlie
like that
Ball?
it ruins it, you know? Like taking a break mid movie, it's like, oh, what?
I gotta go take a piss.
You can't break it. We're in the middle of their life. You can't pause life. Makes it less real.
All right, so top movie or top 2?
Top 2 movies or
'Cause I know
shows or
it's
just movies.
Just movies. I know
And
it's
then
hard to pick the top
I say
one.
we go into series after this.
Okay.
So let's see. Ooh, top movie. It is really difficult, especially like for me. I think I'll get into like moods and I'll enjoy
Yeah.
a certain genre of movie, like some comedy or some
Right.
action
I-
adventure.
yeah, I'm the same.
But
same
like
way.
in terms of just movies that I can just like, I always will love. One of them is got to be Kingdom of Heaven for me. Like I absolutely love that movie. It's so good.
Director's cut, of course.
Obviously, I absolutely love the dialogue in that movie and the idea behind it. I mean, obviously it's a true story, but I like when people do true stories really well. I don't think they are done really well
I think
On a
Often.
loosely based true story.
a lot of the acting in that movie
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
is done so well too, especially from like Edward Norton as the Leper King.
Oh yeah.
Like behind the mask, the man still like carries this gravitas. The weakest link I think is Orlando Bloom, not because he's bad in that movie, but just the way he kind of played his character. Like anybody could have fit in. There.
Unpopular opinion, maybe. I think this is an unpopular opinion, but I actually
Headcanon.
don't like seeing the same actor in multiple movies. I like when they get those, coming up actors or actors you don't see for a new film, for big films and stuff. Like getting more, I guess, personality out there.
It's easier to lose yourself in that character or see them as the character.
Right,
not the
right.
actor,
So if
but-
I see a giant movie, with Tom Cruise in it over and over and over again, it's like,
So
it's Tom Cruise again.
That's the difference, I think, between like blockbusters and then like an actual like movie.
Did y'all like The King?
I did like that one, and that's what I like. And like I think there are big profile actors who can still slip into those roles. Like Jake Gyllenhaal is one of my favorite actors because he's so different from like Prisoners.
What
to
was that movie we
Nightcrawler.
watched?
Prisoners.
Prisoners. That was such a good movie.
Yeah.
Like in terms of just like pulling us in, like some movies are stressful to watch, but it's just like crazy how much it pulls you in.
Yeah, that one you really do. You feel the stress.
Another
of
one,
Hugh Jackman.
Interstellar. I don't know if you've watched it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I watched it in theater.
I haven't seen
very
it
good.
since theaters.
I
So the
love
movie's
that.
like 3 hours long, and
That's
the movie
a
itself
huge
like
left turn.
lasts like in the movie it's like forever. You feel like that movie lasted like years. Like you go out of that movie like you feel like your life is over. It's been so long. But it's just they do such a good job pulling you in. It's like a real experience. I thought they did a good job with it.
Two of my favorite movies. I can call these. I have three, but two of my top favorite movies. Good Will Hunting. Love
My
that movie.
boy's wicked smart.
I fucking love that movie.
I
Just
love that
everything
one, too.
everything about that movie from start to finish. And it's crazy because that was like I randomly just selected the movie and I just watched it. And
That's a
from start
great
to
movie.
finish,
I watched that
was
one.
just
I
like,
watched that one because of a Family Guy skit.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like, "What about these apples, huh?" And I'm like, I know that line."
Yeah.
And The Man from Nowhere, it's a Korean film. It's about a former like special operations officer who the wife gets murdered because his cover gets blown.
Yeah.
And so he ends up becoming a pawn owner, and like it's crazy because like this little girl is like helping help him through depression, but he's like more of like very standoffish, like he's a pawn owner,
Is
like
that the
go
one
the
where
fuck
he
away.
like ganks that guy with the pen in the crowd?
Probably. So they have the most realistic knife fight scene in there at the very ending, but his this whole journey of trying to like get this girl back. He won like the movie won numerous Korean awards for it, but those are by far like my favorite movies. And then Iron Fist with Jet Li, classic. Martial arts, man.
Another movie I absolutely love is Shutter Island.
Ooh.
Have y'all seen that?
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long time.
I like that
I remember
movie.
being interested. I don't know why, but I just couldn't really get into it at the time. I think I saw it. Cause I saw it around the time it came out.
Have you
and I
seen
was
The Cure
pretty
for
young.
Wellness?
That
I
sounds
heard
familiar.
that was sad.
That movie. So if you like Shutter Island, you'll like The Cure for Wellness.
All right.
It's literally kind of like along the same lines.
A movie I didn't like too much. It had such good cinematography, but I felt like they could have done it so much better. Was The Revenant.
I don't even think I finished.
Oh,
it.
I loved that one.
Revenant was based on a true story about this guy who gets mauled by a bear.
Oh,
and
I know the story, yeah.
Yeah.
Chases the guys down who left him there 500 miles and kills both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Movie was crazy in terms of like cinematography. Like the way they filmed it was different than they've ever filmed
It was
anything
supposed
before.
to be.
Do you think that was-
It's supposed to look like all one shot, isn't it? Or-
Do you think
No, that was
that was
1917 was one of them.
Well, that Birdman. It's just the same director. That's why I was thinking that.
I
got
think
you.
they were just kind of
Alejandro
that was,
Inarritu.
Leo's fucking. We know we haven't given you one
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
long
Yeah,
time.
and that's what
That
it
was his Oscar
So like
film.
that Oscar was really for The Wolf of Wall Street. It's just like The Revenant came out, and they're like, "Okay, here you go, Leo." And
Man, I love everything he's in. I just love
Honestly, yeah.
Unpopular
Everything.
opinion. I don't think he's as good as everyone says he is.
I enjoy all his
I
films.
don't. It's hard for me to pick like a bad movie
So-
by him. Maybe I just haven't seen
the
bad
movies are
ones.
good, but kind of like what you were saying, I only see Leonardo DiCaprio. The only roles where I don't see Leo is The Departed,
That's a great movie.
and then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I love The Departed.
Those are the only movies.
Once-
that and What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Those movies are the only movies where I don't see Leo. Every
I
other,
think he has this like certain like niche and look now and style that when you see like him in a movie, you're like, okay, that role was like made for you. Like it was 100% made for you.
I mean, he's just like he's a movie star. He's not. Really,
Yeah.
He can
Django.
He can be an actor, but he's more of a movie star.
Also love Django.
He's really good in Django.
Django
like,
is so good.
When I see him on screen, like, I guess it kind of in my mind, like, you can do no wrong as an actor, like, because you've proven yourself.
He does
to me.
well in what he does, but I just have a hard time not seeing Leo. I can't see the
So
character.
you see
it's
the
just
super,
Leo.
you see the superstardom over his like acting abilities. Yeah.
And when he does like act and put in the effort, like I see it like fucking in What's Eating Gilbert Grape, he didn't get nominated because the Academy actually thought he was like a special needs child.
Oh, so he did a fucking good job then.
He did, yeah. That's what
like
I'm saying.
I
was saying,
we're like, we're not giving you that. Like,
yeah, that was one of the movies where I was like, that's fucking
like
phenomenal.
if they didn't nominate you strictly off of that, like,
and that was
you did your job,
and I love
you
that
did it
movie too,
you did it beyond phenomenal.
That was back when Johnny Depp was actually acting too, and not being Jack
what was his
Sparrow.
movie?
I love Jack Sparrow.
But he's Jack Sparrow in every movie now.
Yeah.
What was the movie with him and him burying bodies in his backyard? Fuck.
Was that Secret Garden?
Is it?
Maybe.
And he was growing corn at the very end.
Maybe.
Or
was Secret Window or something.
Yeah, Secret Window. That's it. Yeah, Secret Window.
I haven't seen that.
That was a really
I've seen
good,
bits and
great
pieces
movie.
of it.
What about
Super
your favorites?
So I'm a super edgy, dark teenager still. And
So I like Twilight.
I've had the same favorite movie since I was 12 years old.
Fair enough.
And that is Donnie Darko. Because
I've watched it, and I'm just like, I know everyone's still like, I'm going to figure this movie out.
Well, if you watch the director's cut, not only does it ruin the fucking movie for you, but it does explain everything, and you find out, like, the director's cut shows that Donnie, Jake Gyllenhaal's character, is actually a superhero, has to save the universe in a parallel timeline.
What?
Yeah.
I would have never got any of that, and I'm very good at, like, deducing movies.
Yeah, no, so, I mean, I won't go super into it, because it really doesn't
I need to watch
matter,
the director's
but,
cut
like,
now. Because I'm like,
If you're so good, then at the end of Inception, are they still dreaming or not?
It's a
Wait, come on now.
the director's cut explains everything, but it's a worse movie. The pacing's fucked up. The music is changed around, and like what I
that's
love,
like Prisoners, how it didn't reveal the ending, and it just like
yeah.
leaves you to like dictate what you thought happened. I kind of like that twist instead of just. Have you seen Prisoners?
highly
So
recommend.
basically, at the end, there's like
well, don't spoil
everything you think is going to happen just doesn't, and they don't like make that final decision, and then the movie's like over before you see what happens
It
or
does
not.
kind of. It ends on a very interesting note, which I think is good. It's not necessarily like everybody comes out okay in the end.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
But I watched, like, when I was younger, I didn't really look at movies in any particular way. Like, I watched a lot of media, but it didn't connect with me. And then my cousin showed me Donnie Darko, and I went and spent a few weeks in California. And, like, he showed that to me, and it just fucking, like, blew my mind as a young kid. And it, like, changed my perspective on, like, how, like, the stories that movies can tell. And even though, like, it gets a lot of shit for being some edgy teenager movie, like, I fucking love it. I love the art. And Richard Kelly has not made anything good since. The reason that movie is so good is because the cinematographer that he worked with, like, sat the director down and was like, we're going to go
one-hit wonder?
He's like, we're going to go through every single fucking shot, and you're going to tell me why it matters, and I'm going to tell you what's bullshit.
So
so you're saying, like, that should have been his partner in crime for the rest of his fucking career.
Exactly, because then he came out with, like, Southland Tales, which I couldn't even, like, get through 15 minutes of. Even though it's a star-studded cast, like, The Rock, Justin Timberlake, Sean William Scott, like, massive, and it was just a big poop fest.
have you all ever seen Galaxy Quest?
Oh, this is the best Star Trek movie ever made.
I love it. Don't go out there.
I don't think I've seen it.
You don't know if there's air.
So, favorite TV series then? No, let's go with genres. Favorite movie genres. Mine's are thrillers.
I like thrillers.
I think nowadays thrillers get lumped in with like horrors now, because I'm like, well, psychological thrillers get lumped in with horror instead of being like, hey, this is just a really like Memento. Have you seen Memento?
Oh yeah.
Like that's the psychological thriller that I love. But now when I'm like, oh, I typed those in my search engine, they were like, here's all these horror movies. I'm like, no, I just want something that's going to make me think. Along the lines, like Looper and fucking
Movies that make you think.
I like
honestly.
movies that make you think.
Yeah.
And, like make you kind of question
Like,
things and like.
Or think, or like change your outlook on something, or just like something that can really pull you in.
I like
It's-
movies
I
that
like things
make
that-
me guess wrong.
Like, funny movies
I really
and, like-
movies that don't have happy endings. That don't follow.
Yeah, movies
like,
that are
that
just
formula.
like amusing.
love
I like
comedies.
just having them on, but like I can't like get into them. They're just
no.
fun to like
I
watch.
get into comedies, especially like Adam Sandler ones.
I love
like,
Adam Sandler.
Hubie's Halloween or whatever came out, and like I put that on.
I watched
just-
Little Nicky last night. The other night.
My girlfriend watched Little Nicky the other night too,
Yeah.
without me, the hoe. I like fell asleep for a nap, and she woke up and like, "Hey, you gonna wake up?" And I was like, "Oh," and she's like, "Whatever." So she went and watched Little Nicky, and I found out when I woke up. I was pissed.
Betrayed.
But I like put on Hubie's Halloween just to kind of like have on in the background while I was bullshitting in the kitchen. Like I think I was cooking dinner, and I ended up like sitting down, not touching my phone, and just staring at the screen the whole time because I was so
him.
entertained.
I love him in most of things.
I watched Mr. Deeds for the first time
Mr. Deeds
last
is really
night,
good.
actually.
So, series, TV shows.
I can start with this is a love-hate relationship. So, I used to love the Arrow series on CW.
I couldn't get into it.
I can't
After
do most
season
CW
3,
Same.
after season 3, they lost me. I heard it got really good at the back end when the season got wrapped up, but they lost me. If anything, that holds near, it's like the one show that plays near and dear to me right now that I love is Snowfall. It's basically about crack era in fucking the 80s in South Central Los Angeles. I'm a crack era baby, and I live in South Central Los Angeles, so there's a lot of key moments in there, and I'm just like, I know I recognize
Movies
this
you
neighborhood.
can
I know
relate
that.
to,
Yeah, like I
I
super
think,
relate to that TV series.
Yeah. Or shows.
Yeah,
I'm so weird with TV shows because I don't like have like a big favorite. I'd say because I'm more of a movie guy than a TV show. But like the shows that I've binged, like Wilfred, I watched the shit.
That's
out
the
of
one where
that.
the dog is the person.
Yeah, he's just
Yeah.
an Australian, like a 6 foot tall Australian man. And it goes a little bit deeper than that too. And there's some interesting themes, like Community.
Community is hilarious.
When
I
I was
Community.
watching Community, I was so in love with it that anytime I had like a free 20 minutes, I was watching an episode.
Such a
I've
great
been trying to get my wife
series.
into Community, and she just can't, like, our humor is just
It,
so
it sucks
different.
when you like something so much and then the person you're around doesn't want to get into it.
She doesn't think
You
Scrubs
don't
is
understand. Scrubs?
funny. She does not think Scrubs. She does not, like, I've tried to, like, get her to watch it,
Also hilarious.
and
My favorite is the janitor.
I tried getting my girlfriend to watch Community, and I got her to like half-ass watch the first episode while she's fucking around in the kitchen.
Who's your favorite Community character?
Abed? Because that's
Yeah.
probably me. I was like, so when I went back on leave this last time,
What's his name? The old guy?
Pierce?
Yeah, Pierce.
On my way back home
think
to
Pierce is
Kansas on
hilarious.
leave, I stopped in Alabama to hang out with my uncle, and like I have this bad habit of just always quoting movies and doing dumb shit. And at one point, he was just like, "Are you gonna calm down, Abed?" I was like, "Oh my god, I've been had." Yes.
It sucks. So like, y'all will probably know what I'm talking about. Sometimes there's something that's so good, it's perfect, and one minor thing
Game
can
of Thrones.
ruin all of it. Yes.
Why do you think I came all this way?
oh
Freaking-
my god.
I
He was
remember-
like, I'm not even gonna let you finish the statement.
So I was super late on the Game of Thrones thing.
Me too.
Bran,
And,
the cripple,
Me too.
broke leg, can't do nothing, is now king.
When I first started watching it, I think season 4 came out, and I watched the first few seasons, took a big
think it
break.
It was season 5 is when I started watching.
Yeah,
That's
so when season 7 was on TV, I started picking it back up again, and like the first 4 seasons were just fucking golden.
Oh yeah,
the-
it was hooked.
And then as soon as like in the first 5 minutes of season 5, I was like, something's off.
See, I still really enjoy the first 6 seasons.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people
5
are
and
saying
6 were
like
good, but-
season 1 through 4, but I still really enjoyed 5 and 6.
5 and 6 are
Um,
good. Some of the
you
best
can tell the
episodes.
acceleration of the series after 6.
It's
Yeah.
You can just tell how fast certain things are.
If you
still
really
playing.
look at it, it's 5. 5 is where it changes. 5 is where Varys and Tyrion start like having their little comedy duo. Like you literally can hear that. You can hear how their speeches change.
the dialogue did stop then, and the reason why is because they
That's when they ran
stopped
out of
sourcing
books.
it from the books and started writing it themselves.
And
They're like, fuck this.
George R. R. Martin
it's,
is an excellent writer,
DB
and he
I
had
think
no
it's
more words for them to steal.
David Benioff and DB Weiss.
Yeah, D&D.
And they fucking ruined it. And so what's crazy is that HBO offered them like another 3 seasons, I think.
10 episodes each.
To finish their shit.
Yeah,
and
10 seasons, 10 episodes each, and they did 8 seasons with like 6 episodes on
and
the last
The reason
one.
they did that is because they said, fuck you, we got Star Wars. And then they did so shitty with season 8
that they were like, nope.
Disney was like, no Star Wars for you.
They're like,
So, yeah, but still, like, even with the stain that is season 8, like, if I just, like, rewatch the first 6, 7 seasons, mainly first 6 seasons, like, I can keep watching those and just act like that's where it stopped.
Yeah.
It's so amazing, like,
So-
everything about that show.
Another controversial ending to a TV show. How I Met Your Mother.
I actually haven't
I
watched
was about
it.
to bring that up. I love How I Met Your
I
Mother.
love How I Met Your
I
Mother.
love it.
I have a
I've
hard
watched
time
it like
watching
4
it.
times.
I have a hard time watching it now because the laugh track's kind of like I can't really get into laugh track shows anymore. But like How I Met Your Mother was fucking huge to me. And then I'm curious.
You talking?
What did you think about the ending?
All right. I'm a non-spoiler for you and the people out there. 'Cause y'all should have watched already.
Show's been out for years.
For all of that to play out, to meet the woman that he was supposed to, like, he actually married
Yeah.
and had kids with, and then for that part to happen, I was just like, that's completely kind of left field. Like, I'm like, I see what y'all did
It
there.
is, but it isn't because
I'm like-
so they set it up for the whole. They set that up from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, Ted talks about how the love of your life, you're gonna lock eyes from across the room, and you're gonna know. And that's how him and Robin met, is they locked eyes.
Yeah.
And it was it. And if you like they only used footage from those kids that they were filming. They only filmed during the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So they had those kids being like, yeah, go date Robin from the get-go.
Yeah.
And that's why in the last episode, when you see Ted talking to them, you can see the aspect ratio change between the shots. Because in the middle of that show, like, everybody switched to 16:9. And my biggest complaint is the fact that they fit a weekend. The final season is 1 weekend. It's
In 8 episodes.
In,
Or
like-
20 something.
it was like 27 episodes, and it's all a weekend leading up to Barney and Robin's marriage. And then
D&D, take notes.
and then they fit 20 fucking years into the last episode.
Yeah.
And that I wanted to see so much more of the mother. Like, she was so perfect. She was
was.
adorable.
I honestly hate it when they do that, where they, like, just, like, when they want to get, like, whatever the series is, like, trying to get
They
to,
were like, hey,
and
you
they
need to
skip,
wrap
like,
up.
a bunch of time.
They're like, you're done this season.
It's like, why
Wrap
not
it
make,
up.
like, 12 more seasons?
It was like
I'll watch it.
It's kind of like Revenge of the Sith. Like, you have this whole movie, and then the last like 20 minutes is George Lucas being like, "Okay, now you go here,
Wrap
and
it up.
You go here, and you go here. And now you're all to stay there until my original show."
It's
I
like your
honestly feel like it
homework,
was a
Stu,
slap
and
in
you're
my
only
face,
halfway
honestly.
done.
yeah.
I honestly feel like it was a low-key slap in my face the way they ended How I Met Your Mother, because I'm like,
was a
okay, you
slap in
found her,
everybody's
like, you
face.
found your wife, like, you'd have been happy with her. If she didn't, you would have probably still been with her and been happy.
Have y'all seen The Man in the High Castle?
I did not.
I love that.
I couldn't get into it.
The TV series? No.
I remember, we were trying to get you
Yeah.
into it on deployment.
I
And
couldn't
couldn't get
feel
into it. And, that's fine, but I absolutely love The Man in the High Castle.
American Gods.
I've been wanting to try it, but I just
So
haven't
good.
yet.
Flood read the book, and he, like, refuses to watch the series, and I'm like, the series is good.
I-
He's like, no.
I
I'm not
think
gonna ruin
it's
it for
funny
me.
when that happens, like, because a lot of people miss out on a good TV show if they, like, got into the books,
Facts.
but because it doesn't line up. But just if you think of it as like a separate entities, you might be
Yeah.
able to enjoy
Well,
it
So-
better.
I mean, so you can say that, but then you can also watch Percy Jackson and want to fucking kill yourself because that was an abomination. I don't know if you read the Percy
I've
Jackson.
never read the books.
I read the books.
I read the
yeah.
books growing up, and then I watched
I
the
love the
movie,
movies.
and oh my god, heresy!
Oh, man.
It's
Heresy.
I was watching the fucking movies, and it was just like
How dare you!
absolute garbage. And
So
like,
do you think it would have been... So, are there films that you've ever come across that you were like, this would have been better as a TV show than a movie?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because films, they're max 3 hours long.
right?
That's
And so
not a good
sometimes right, and sometimes it's horrible because a movie will be so good and it'll be an hour and a half long.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's it?
Well,
That's why I like series more than I like movies, because you can get more into the stories of the characters.
So wanting to have like longer stories into TV shows is a super new concept. Because up until recently, like TV is super high profile now because of streaming services. Back in the day, when shit was on TV, it was on cable. That was like lesser stuff. Like for a TV actor to go from TV to film was a huge fucking deal, and for a movie star to end up on TV was like, they're
it is
fucking
interesting
washed
how
up.
that dynamic is
So
sort
now
of switched.
Now television is on the same level as movies because of
like just
streaming.
look at how much
because you can binge that show now.
Each episode will gross. It's as much as an entire film.
Exactly. So that's
why.
like
with Marvel, specifically in their TV series, they're like, we're not changing our filming style integrity because we're making TV series.
And that's
we're
why
putting the same budget and the same effort as a regular movie. So it's like when you watch our series, they blend in with the storylines, and there's no differentiation between the two. So that's why
they're with the Disney Plus, because with the Marvel stuff, they really didn't give a shit about the Netflix Marvel stuff at all. They were like, even Kevin Feige's like, that's the reason why you don't see those characters connect, is because
they acknowledged them, but they were like, we're not showing them.
Right.
Like they're because they did still reference stuff like in Endgame and that and so on and so forth. Also with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
And they've been hinting at the fact that Matt Murdock might show up in Far From Home. Or not Far From Home, but the next Spider-Man movie, because someone dropped a line about how
Charlie Cox,
there's going to be like some characters that we haven't seen in the movies, and Peter's going to need a lawyer.
So everything I've been keeping up with Spider-Man 3 is Andrew Garfield's coming back.
He's signed on. Kristen Dunst is signed on. Tobey Maguire's not signed on yet.
So what he asked for kind of in his contract is he doesn't want a cameo. He's like, I'm willing to take less money. He was like, but I want more screen time. So he doesn't want to just come in there like, hey, I'm here. He wants to be like, hey, I'm doing something.
Yeah, I think the popular belief is that Tobey Maguire is the best Spider-Man.
I love Tom Holland's Spider-Man, but
I love Tom Holland,
grew up on
I grew up on Tobey Maguire. And the
Maguire.
Sam Raimi movies are such a fucking staple. Spider-Man 2 was
Without
such a
him,
huge deal.
Yeah, facts, 100%. I agree with you.
I grew up with
Andrew Garfield.
No,
you young baby.
Tobey Maguire as well. Those were.
I used to watch.
Because I mean, as a kid, you know, any superhero movies.
When I was younger, that was one of the DVDs that we had.
But
was the first Spider-Man.
I still don't like him as a Spider-Man compared to like Tom Holland. I think Tom Holland's my favorite.
I think
Tom Holland's great, but it's so Disney.
Yeah,
but you got to think too. They did it well because Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man was exiting high school, college, so that's how they fit his like age and character.
Right.
Even though Tom Holland's getting a little bit older now, he can still fit that high school kid persona. And they were saying all the best stories of Spider-Man are when he's in high school.
Tom Holland is great. I do love him. Andrew Garfield, I liked the first Amazing Spider-Man movie. The second one shit the fucking bed.
I didn't like it.
I didn't like the first one.
Jamie Foxx is coming back too.
Yeah. So, all right. Yeah. Go back to that. So rumored right now is they have Audie Octavius, the original from 2. He's coming back.
So that's legit.
Jamie Foxx.
Legit.
Andrew Garfield.
That's legit. Kirsten Dunst. The only one who's not officially
Emma
signed
Watson
on.
might come back. Not Emma Watson. Emma Stone. She might come back because they want to get her love interest in there. They might introduce. They've already cast from Miles Morales' character.
Who they cast from?
That's
Miles
Garfield's girlfriend is Emma Stone, right?
Yeah.
Everybody says she's like
Garfield's
super.
girlfriend?
Andrew Garfield or whatever his name is.
Oh yeah. She plays Gwen Stacy.
Yeah. So Emma Stone, like everybody talks about, like how pretty she is. I really don't see it.
You know what? You know why I think I think she's really pretty.
Too, I think.
It's her personality.
I think she looks weird.
I think 100%.
Honestly,
I think she's like Easy.
Looks like an alien.
When
to
I
me.
saw Easy A, I fell in love with her.
Yeah.
Like
she looks like an alien.
Yeah, something's off about her dimensions. You know,
think,
Men in Black when they've got the aliens that are pretending to be humans, and you can just tell, like, obviously he's not a human.
So she's a reptilian.
Yeah,
I think. I think with Emma Stone and like part of her thing is, especially with Easy A's, when we started seeing like the quirky girl be
the hot girl,
the limelight. You know. It wasn't so like we
wasn't,
stopped looking for Barbies.
It wasn't Mean
Girls.
Girls. It was Easy A girls.
And she just so like I watched Easy A like back to back one time because it was just so good.
Guilty pleasure back in my college days was Mean Girls. We used to watch that shit every Friday.
That's not a guilty pleasure. You'd be proud as fuck about that shit. I love Mean Girls.
We used to watch Mean Girls all the time.
I've tried to get my girlfriend to watch it so many times, and she will just never sit down for it. Which
she don't get.
She hasn't seen it, man. It's just like watch the fucking movie.
Yeah, my wife will get into these like shows and stuff that are like like Gossip Girl or something like that, and it would be like something that I would never in a lifetime just start on my own. But then because she's watching it, I'll watch it too.
Next thing you
and
know,
then I'll
you're
just
like,
get
"He
into
did
it so
what?"
much. Yeah, like
me and my wife's like taste in like entertainment is completely opposite. So my wife loves reality TV shows like
Oh my
yeah.
God.
fucking
Disgusting.
American was it Wives of Atlanta, Love and Chant. Like every single one of them she watches. Like that's her guilty pleasure. And I'm like, I used to be like that when I was really really young because I used to watch Keeping Up with Kardashians when it first started, and I used to watch like
I used to watch a lot
Flavor
of
Flav's for Chance at Love.
I used to watch all the MTV dating shows, like Parental Choice or Parental Advisory.
Oh, what was the bus one?
I don't know. I'd watch Next.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Next, yeah.
What was? And then there was the one where like, the girl or the boy would pick the dates by like rummaging through their fucking bedroom. And then at the end, you finally meet them.
She'd pick who she want.
Yeah,
Remember Blind Dates?
okay, so
Hold on. Funny story with Blind Date. So you remember that show that used to come on, like I think it was like Fox or CW. So there was an episode, 100% was my homeroom teacher. She was on the episode.
Oh no shit.
She was on, like she literally told, like we'd come into class, and she was like, "Okay, I probably know like a lot of y'all have watched this TV series." She's like, "I was on there for a blind date," and we're like, and then I saw the episode one day, and I was like, "That's Miss Such and Such." I'm like,
She was actually on.
like
Naked
she was
Attraction.
like she was on there, but she was cute. She was white. She was a white chick, but I was like, "You're really attractive."
I had a science teacher. He wasn't my science teacher, but a science teacher at my high school was on an episode of Finding Bigfoot because he was a very big.
because he's seen Bigfoot in his backyard.
He was a Bigfoot He was a big Bigfoot advocate.
and he recorded, but there was just something wrong with the camera, so
Yeah, it
they
was a
couldn't get the
little fuzzy,
footage.
it's just out of
but he's
focus.
seen it. Did y'all know that they're still? I'm pretty sure they're still making Walking Dead episodes.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I think they're finally finishing it up. I think it's finally.
Isn't that
about to
crazy?
end. I just saw.
Yeah, my wife was literally watching it all Halloween.
I think that's crazy because I remember back when like Walking Dead started, and like I really enjoyed it at first, but then like after it was probably like season 3, it stopped getting good. But then I stopped watching it like 4 or 5. I don't know. They're like on season 14 or something.
I loved the first season, and then I tried to watch season 2, and 20 minutes into the first episode,
Favorite
I was
character.
like,
My analytical brain would not let me accept that show.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It would not let
it
me
was-
accept.
Don't
The-
dead,
the-
open inside.
The
Yeah.
decisions, how the zombies work, but then just like the decisions people made and like
Some like
How
my buddy pointed out to me. He was like, where would you go if zombies were there? He's like, I'd go to the woods. Miraculously, there's 100,000 zombies in the woods.
the weirdest thing too is like the lack of people and resources in season 1, and then whenever I stopped watching in like season 5 or 6, there was like way more people, way more resources. Like you'd think that they were running out,
They have whole
but they're like, yeah, we've still got gas for cars and stuff because we've been siphoning for
I
years.
saw something once,
Siphoning for years.
and back on the whole like branding thing is, the whole world was supposed to end in like 2008, I guess, maybe. I'll just throw that number out there because I really don't know. And then in one of the episodes, there's like a 2014 Nissan, and it's so fresh and shiny, like right off the lot. And they're like, it's like, I do wonder.
Oh yeah, Kansas was never hit, and they've got a Nissan factory. They're just pumping them out.
So
man.
great apocalypse movie that I think no one has seen ever. Probably it's called Stakeland.
Nope, never seen it.
Yeah, no,
Never heard of it.
But what it's about is it's
from
like
power of Google.
it's like a zombie apocalypse thing, but they're vampires, I think, but kind of like zombie vampires, so they're still pretty dumb.
Zombie vampire.
But that was it's kind of like a slow burn, brutal movie where some dude is like taken under the wing of like this nomad, and it's solid. I'd recommend it.
Interesting. Stakeland.
Shit.
So, if you, what would be y'all's dream roles if you were cast in a movie or series, like your character in your film that you were in? What would you want to be? Like, would you want to be in a series, a big film? What character would you want to play? Like, what would you want to see yourself on the big screen?
As someone who's been involved like in acting and shit, and like I want to actually go into this business. That's something I think about a lot, and I think
As an actor or just like on the filming side?
Well, I'd like to be a director. It's kind of
Okay.
my dream goal, but I love acting, so I like it. I've kind of fucked myself because I have like visible arm tattoos and shit, so that makes it a little harder. Like, if you ever notice, if you watch movies, actors don't have tattoos.
Yeah.
They're always
Only The Rock
And
his
Jason
tattoo
Momoa.
artists. Yeah.
Well, and
his rocks are-
what I've noticed now too is
But
that
that's culture too.
the big actors do have tattoos. Like, I saw like an interview with Brad Pitt. He has like some arm tattoos and shit, but they just like edit that shit out. But you got to be fucking Brad Pitt for them to like want to waste the money to edit that shit out.
Everything.
Makeup. Yeah, dead ass. But I think my dream role, I probably have two of them, and the first one is Hamlet. I would love to be Hamlet in like a stage production or like a modernized movie setting, because I fucking love Hamlet so much. Like it's so fun. I have some pretty unorthodox views on like the play. But other than that, like, I'd love to be the Joker. I used to always want to be like Batman or Superman growing up. But as I've gotten older, I look more like a fucking clown, and everyone's like, "You look like the guy who played the Joker," and I'm like, "Oh, whatever, man."
Whatever.
But,
I
like,
can see now that you say it. I can see it now.
I know, right?
Now that
It's just
people-
got the long face and the big nose and the goofy smile, like,
And the scars on my cheeks.
yeah. You don't know I got these scars.
Talking about
You want to know how I got this
not,
smile?
not to get a little conceited, but I get people say I look like Ryan Gosling a lot, and he was actually tapped to play the Joker in the Suicide Squad before it went to Jared Leto. But I think that'd be a fun role because there's so much you can do with it. And for the longest time, it was just like being the clown prince of crime. With like Cesar Romero in the '60s, Jack Nicholson in the '80s, like there was a certain type of way to play it. And then Heath Ledger came in and really made it into a role that you can actually fucking make it your own.
Rest in
Yeah.
peace.
All right.
Yeah, honestly.
The best Joker.
Yeah, I agree. But so, dream role of mine is in the film that I just created in my head while you were talking, and this is what the film is. Basically, premise is it's medieval times, post-apocalyptic. So whether it be like zombies or something crazy, right? Like some sort of, the Black Plague, except instead of killing everyone, it's like fucking zombies or something like that. Post-apocalyptic medieval times, and then my role would not be the main character, but the second main character, the supporting character for the main character that everyone likes a little bit better, but he doesn't get as much screen time. Just like here and there, he's got the good one-liners.
That's kind of the spot, I think, like, is being the supporting actor, because you there's not as many rules and beats to follow.
You don't have all the weight on your shoulders,
as the lead, like, you have to be that certain type. You have to be the leading character, and like, honestly, you even have to have a certain body type. Like, if you look at most leads, they're tall, broad, blonde, handsome.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And then, but if you have like,
Damn, what happened to Ajo saying tall, dark, and handsome?
I know,
Jesus.
but if you have like, dark hair, you're a little smaller, you kind of got black eyes, you're gonna be a heavy or a supporting character, like. But the supporting characters are where
So
it's
based
at.
on our setup, what's our role in the movie then?
Well, you're the heavy, he's the leading man, and I'm the supporting character actor.
I guess so.
And action.
Fuck this, I'm out.
Character actors are like, those are the more fun roles. Those are the ones where you see people kind of slip into them a little bit more. There's more character there. It's not for the movie star. It's for the people who can, be
Your
whatever.
dream
All
role.
right, I never really thought about this. I think mine's
It's off the whim.
Yeah, this is shooting from the hip. I think mine's would be A Man Out of Time, because I love like time travel movies.
Yeah. They're very amusing.
Yeah, so like I have to be A Man Out of Time, and just kind of more of like the adventure, something like someone who's out there like looking for the cause of 2Y, like not for the greater good of like I need to save the world, but just kind of like, hey, this is why everything is being fucked up. I have the information for you.
Right.
You go handle that. I'm gonna go over here.
I think some of the best characters to play are the ones who, like the tragic ones, the darker ones. And I don't mean dark as like super edgy, but just like not like the cookie
They don't have
not like the cookie cutter leader, the fucking this and that, but the ones who are a little more
You're
tragic.
mysterious.
I'm the man who should be the leader, but who refuses to be the leader all the time.
Right.
Like
if I could go back in time and be an actor in a movie that's already come out, like I would love to be in fucking Drive and play the driver or like Jake Gyllenhaal in Nightcrawler or fucking,
that was a good movie. That was very
like
good.
Those roles are my favorite roles, and it's probably just because I love those actors so much. But
What's that movie? The one that just came out. Seven is definitely in the title. Chris Pratt.
Oh, The Magnificent Seven?
Magnificent Seven. I actually enjoyed that one. I watched that one in theaters because I know a lot of people said they didn't, but
Yeah.
I enjoyed that film. I thought it was pretty good.
I also really love comedy, so I would love to be in like The Interview. I would love to be like the Seth Rogen character in The Interview.
Give me an action
Or
movie,
fucking,
and I'm sold.
Charlie Day in Vacation.
Fuck, you tell me being Expendables? I'm like, you just got to shoot shit, blow up shit with no repercussions? Like,
Oh, yeah.
all right. Fucking full send.
Let's make a movie, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
We can do a short film. I got a camera.
When we were in,
I gotta
did
get
you
one.
go to Indiana?
No.
Did you go to Indiana?
I mean, I've been to Indiana.
So the little training exercise we went in, it was like a month long. We went to Indiana and they had the USO, the little movie theater in there.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Gotta go to yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It was like an
Part of
actual
USO.
like little movie theater
Right
in
across
the
from the
USO.
gym, yeah.
Yeah, so when we got time off, and they had like a list of hundreds of movies, that was nice. Just sitting in there and just watching different movies. We went through all the old Alien movies, the old Predator movies,
Oh, nice.
Basically every movie that we're like, oh yeah, I remember that movie. We went and watched, and it was a good time.
I was out there hooping in the gym.
That was also. I only played a couple games while we were out
I think
there.
we did play together too, huh?
We did.
Yeah,
We did. Yeah,
Kobe! There's one for you, Kobe. All of those are for you.
that was fun.
That was good times.
Favorite actor or actress? Well, actor is more of a unisex term now, anyway. But and your favorite role and why they're your favorite.
Okay. That's it.
I don't know if I really have a favorite actor. I know I love Adam Sandler. Like, I love
yeah.
everything he's in. So, like, he's always top of my list. And the same thing with Leonardo. Like, Leo, it's just anything he does, I'm just like...
So I really enjoy. What is I can't believe I'm blanking on his name.
What's he in? Who's he in?
Tyrion?
Oh, Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, Peter Dinklage. I really enjoy him. He's also in Destiny 1. He's the voice actor for the Ghost, and it's just like such good lines and stuff.
I love how he's been able to become.
But I like him as Tyrion too.
I like how he's been able to become such a big actor, which
he wanted.
It's
He was like,
kinda
he's transcending his height.
It's kind of exactly. It's hard to do for dwarfs or little people. I don't know what the correct term is.
Probably little people.
Probably think it's little people.
We
Which
don't.
I feel like is more.
We're
fucking
not
demeaning,
intentionally offensive.
That's like when people's like...
We just don't really
He was like,
give.
you can't call him black, call him colored. Like, no, nigga, don't call me colored.
If you say midget, there could be a protest of midgets outside. And I said, promise?
Probably.
I'd like to see that. But no, yeah, I like him. I also like Nikolaj Coster-Waldau.
Yes. Even though I've only ever seen him in Game of Thrones and Kingdom of Heaven.
I like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Gosling are probably my top
Ryan
two.
Gosling's good,
Because
yeah.
they are so diverse in what they can do. They're not just one note. They're not like these movie stars. They are movie stars because they're big household
Well,
names
what's his
now.
name?
But
Plays
like,
Venom. Plays Venom.
Tom Hardy.
Tom
Hardy
Hardy
is
has some
fantastic,
chops on
too.
him,
Yeah,
man.
he fucking does.
He's very versatile.
Bronson.
Going from,
Have you
like-
seen Bronson? Holy shit. He plays Charlie Bronson, the fucking famous British inmate.
Oh, okay.
Movie is gnarly. Same director as Drive, actually.
Which one of the movie that stand out for me for him? Like, I know everybody's gonna be like him as Bane, but I'm just like him and Warriors, man. Warriors
Oh
is
my
such
god,
an
the
amazing
movie
movie.
brought me to fucking tears at
That
the end.
movie's amazing. I tell people, I'm like, if you don't like if you just like great storytelling, emotions, just like just an underdog story,
Yeah.
watch that movie.
Every actor hit their fucking notes right.
Like, watch that movie.
Piss time.
One of the best sports movies, I think. And I'm not a big sports movie guy. Like that, and that movie is just fucking.
The Blind Side.
Mm.
Great movie.
I do like The Blind Side.
I thought it was good.
But like what I like about Ryan Gosling is that how he can go from fucking like playing all these introspective, quiet roles like Drive, Only God Forgives, the romance guy in The Notebook,
Love Drunk Crazy.
Crazy Stupid Love.
Crazy Stupid Love.
Oh, that
Which
movie-
one's the Young Love Drunk Crazy was Adam Sandler.
Punch Drunk Love.
Punch Drunk
Which
Love.
is a total opposite move for fucking Adam Sandler too.
Yeah.
Which is great. What I love about that movie is if like you just listen to the words and like his character and stuff, is that it totally could be an Adam Sandler comedy. But he just plays it different. And like the director Paul Thomas Anderson, the guy who made There Will Be Blood, just played it different because he's just like the guy in a wacky family who does weird things and has the violent outbursts. It's like every other Adam Sandler movie. It's just shown in a different light where he's someone who's a little odd and different and quiet and reserved, and I think it's fucking badass. But like Ryan Gosling does all that shit, and then he does The Nice Guys, where he like just the comedic timing on him. Like one of my favorite scenes in that movie is where he's like Russell Crowe comes in on him while he's taking a shit, and he's like fumbling with the door, and if you look at it, like every time he fumbles with the door, it's for a purpose. As an actor, I thought that was great. Like he just drops it because he drops a cigarette, then he drops the gun, and it's just like it's so purposeful and meaningful.
I like little things. I don't like it when the movie explains itself. When there's like tiny details you have to have to actually pick up on, and the movie requires a little more effort, or the series a little more effort on the viewer's part to understand it.
That was why I've been getting away from Christopher Nolan movies.
I don't like things being spoon-fed to me.
It's because in like the Chris Nolan movies, all of the dialogue is exposition. Like I can't even really watch The Dark Knight anymore, and I kind of just like fast forward to the Heath Ledger parts because Heath Ledger's so good.
Right.
But it's every single line is exposition. I think I talked about this in another podcast too. But like even Interstellar, Inception, it's all just explaining what's happening in the movie so the viewers understand. It's like
you don't need to explain.
It's the common man's smart movie, is what Christopher Nolan makes.
The one thing I've been like, so I won't say I love horror movies. I love supernatural movies. Anything to do with ghosts, specters, all that stuff.
Shit scares the fuck out of me.
And I've gotten to the point now, like me and my wife was watching a new one. It's like Don't Call or something like that. It's on Netflix. And I just stopped. Because I was just like, I already know how the story's going to play out. And like all ghost movies are like playing out the same, like their same premise, the same theaters,
a jump scare compilation.
I'm just like,
that's why I don't like the Conjuring movies, because it's all just jump scares. There's no actual fucking tension.
Gotcha. Oh, this is
I'm
a
just
great
like,
movie.
I'm like, I can't get into you anymore. Like, I love these stuff. Like, same thing with like the one thing that made Paranormal Activity so good is just the way it was filmed, how it was presented. It was just a fresh new look at it, and I was just like, but now they've done so many. I'm just like, all right, everyone does this style now because you guys like pioneered it.
Well, Blair Witch Project.
True.
But so I mean, and the big reason why horror movies are so abundant and they're all kind of the same is because like horror movies are some of the most profitable movies because they're so cheap to make.
Yeah.
And then they yield such a high return.
The one I enjoyed Get Out, and that was one of those.
What's his name?
And I feel like that was
what's
one
the
of
director's name?
The budget to
Jordan
profit
Peele's.
ratio was crazy on that one.
I think so.
Because it was like a $2 million budget, and he made like a few $100 million.
Yeah, he knows the sweet spot.
I haven't seen Us yet, but
Us was good. Us was really good. What's the movie that came out with his production team that just came out?
I don't know, actually.
It just came out. Me and my wife ordered it and watched it, and that was really good. Because you'll watch it and you were like, he made it. And then I looked it up and I was like, no. His crew made it from his people that helped him do his other movies.
I loved seeing his jump, too, from Key and Peele to, like, Get Out. I thought that was insane. And now he's on the Twilight Zone as well.
I don't know about you, because do you guys watch any hood classics?
22. Watch what?
Any hood classics? Boys in the Hoods, Mrs. Society? No?
Nah.
Boys in the Hood.
Nah, I haven't even seen Friday, dude. I'm like...
Do it for me. Okay, my favorite movie...
I saw Straight Outta Compton, though.
No, do it for me. My favorite movie is The Wood. Just watch it. It's just like... I think, well, a lot of those movies hold closer to home for me because it's just the lifestyle I grew up in. I'm not saying, like, I did those things, but I grew up seeing those things.
That.
So,
have you seen Dope?
Yeah.
I thought that was a really good one,
good
too.
One.
And what I liked about that, I think my favorite thing is it portrayed like those inner city kids as being intelligent, and I think that's something that like a lot of the movie like they like try to make them out to be.
Poor kids are just as bright as white kids. End quote. Joe Biden.
Do you need an AR? Do you need 100 rounds?
Do you need an AR-14?
Go watch Boys in the Hood.
Okay, all right.
That's probably like the first movie Ice Cube made.
I want to watch like the Tupac movies too. Like, was it Poetic Justice?
Juice. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bunch. There's a lot of them. Above the Rim. If you want a good sports movie, Above the Rim. White Man Can't Jump. That's a hood
I've seen
classic.
a little bit of that. Yeah,
That's a hood classic
I like
too.
that. Wesley Snipes and fucking Woody Harrelson.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I tried watching Chirac, and I just couldn't get into it at the time. I think, I think it's such an interesting story because, like, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but it's another Spike Lee movie,
Mm-hmm.
and the whole movie is a rap. They're rapping the whole time.
Really? I don't think I've seen it.
But it's a retelling of the Lysistrata, which is an old Greek play.
Mm-hmm.
And what that's about is like two warring societies, and then Lysistrata, who is one of the wives of a Greek soldier, gets all of the women and the wives to stop having sex with their men.
Oh,
that
hell
way,
no.
That way they're like, the war, like, none of y'all getting sex. You ain't getting no poon until the war ends.
That'll do it.
And so, but
That'll do it.
It's Chirac's a retelling of that story set in Chicago.
Interesting.
But it's all, the whole movie's wrapped.
Okay.
And Nick Cannon's in it too, which kind of turned me off because Nick Cannon's a fucking he's a goober.
When we were in Camp Dyer, me and Dobler wrote the script, or basically the outline and some of the script, but the full outline of 6 seasons of a show that we created, every episode, basically start to finish for the entire series, because we had so much time. And I have a notebook somewhere full of this like huge outline. We were like so convinced that it was going to be like, we're actually going to make this series and it was going to be something great. And then the second we got more free time, we just like, yeah, whatever. We never even did that.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't just spend like 600 hours writing this entire outline. It was pretty good though.
A pretty good idea in Afghanistan.
He was a thinker.
And the reason I know that it was a good idea is because I wasn't the only person who talked about it. Because I brought it up to someone else. They're like, "Oh, thinking the same thing," but a movie about a dog's life in Afghanistan, and like seeing like the war and what happens through the eyes of like those like the fob dogs.
Who was CQB? You remember CQB?
Yeah, I remember CQB.
CQB, man, that dog seen some shit.
Oh my god!
The stories that I heard about that dog and what he did, I was just like,
he was so smart too. Like, I was up in the ACP tower, and like I see him walk up to the gate, and I'm like, all right, well, next time the gate opens, he'll come inside. That's what he wants. And I just hear like a bark, and I look out, and this dude didn't even move from his spot. He just like leaned around the corner to where he knew I'd be able to see him, and was looking at me. And I was just like radioed down to my boys who were running the gate, and I was like, yo, we got a VIP. They were pretty upset with me that it was just a dog.
we got VIP, let him in. Cause, hey, CQB, he be like, boom, let me in. He be like, all right. He'll walk up to the gate and be like,
so
right.
he has an illegitimate son, which was literally just a smaller version of him that's still missing ears and shit, that we named Khan. And he ended up getting adopted by somebody. Someone brought him home.
Nice, hell yeah.
The rest of them got fucking dome pieced.
Really?
Yeah, one of the dogs bit one of our foreign allies, and so dudes went around fucking dome pieced all the dogs.
See, that's
all of them
unfair.
at Farrell?
If he got bit, he should just bite the dog back.
All of them at Farrell, for real?
Yep.
No, them dogs are like those dogs were the only 100% the real reason why like morale was even up. And they were like, "Don't pet those dogs." And you were like, "Fuck you!" Like this is I have dogs here. Like, fuck you. Like, let me pet these dogs. So what if they got God knows what?
I remember
worth it.
My big boss, my big boss, my platoon sergeant, was saying that like we could have the dogs in our bay as long as like we just cleaned up after them and like all this and that. So like fucking Ricky Bobby's hanging out with us in there one time.
That company encompassed the love of dogs, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But then there was one leader who just like as soon as he saw a dog inside, he was like, "Oh hell no, get out of here, go on."
Yeah,
go on.
we had one of them too.
I'm not gonna drop any names.
Oh,
But
fuck
I was so irritated. I was like, "Come on now,
bro. I want.
we don't need no mangy mutts."
Release the full list of everyone I hate in the comments.
Check the description below.
I got names, addresses, and everything else you may need. Go ahead and find them for me.
Now we're on a list.
Final statements regarding movies and shows. What do we got?
Is there a question? What's the?
Just anything you want to bring up before the episode's
Man,
over.
go watch Snowfall.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, recommendations.
These are
Recommendations.
this is our time to recommend
TV series,
to
go
the
watch
listeners.
Snowfall. There's 3 seasons right now. Season 4 is coming out. If you like,
And where to find it.
you can find it on FX. It's on Hulu right now, so just go to Hulu and you can watch
Are we
it.
sponsored by Hulu?
Also,
Oh wait,
all these
Hulu of the
recommendations for all the big corporations that listen to my podcast, I'll be accepting monetization.
I got PayPal.
Yeah, like these viewers aren't cheap.
Hey, HBO, you got Venmo?
I may not have many, but they're really worthwhile viewers.
Yes.
They're not your average viewer.
Oh no, I take that back. Alice in Borderlands. Borderlands. It's on Netflix right now. It's a Korean TV series. Really good. Basically, people get transported into another world. They don't even know this to play a death game, trying to get back home.
I would say don't hate on other people's interests in film, because I was really pretentious about my movie interests for a long time, and then I realized that people just like what they like. So if someone likes a show that you don't like, don't make them feel like a piece of shit for enjoying something that you don't agree with.
Yep.
Yeah, crazy thing. Not hating people because they have a different view than you in terms of everything in life. That's just a thought. Pretty crazy one. I would say, just because it was a crazy movie, I thought Cloud Atlas. It's a long movie. It's 3 hours long, but it is an interesting movie. I really enjoyed. Worth a watch.
I guess recommendation. I'd say watch Stakeland, just because it's a little different. It's not a big movie. It's kind of slow, but it's interesting.
If you haven't seen Batman vs Superman because someone told you it was bad, go watch it.
If you think Batman vs Superman is bad, it's because you listen to other people's opinions.
You listen to Rotten
and
Tomato.
You can't form your own fucking opinion. God, oh my God!
I still watch movies based on.
I like how I said not to judge people for fucking.
That's different.
It's because it's a good movie. God damn it!
We are right and you're wrong.
If you have legitimate reasons for not liking it, great. I will fucking talk with you all day long about it. But if you don't like it because the internet tells you not to like it, watch the director's cut. And don't be a bitch. Fuck.
And this has been the Foxhole.
Anyway, I'm Blake.
Jarvis.
I'm Greg.
Thank you for watching, listening, feeling, hearing,
understanding.
Now I gotta pause it. So you get to listen to whatever I say while I'm 2, 1, 8, and pause.